Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful 14th of October, 2021. Coming up with the Crusty Canuck podcast, episode 152, Uncertainty. It's what lies ahead, ladies and gentlemen. All that and more. Listener discretion is advised. Please stick around.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me. There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast, a Canadian veteran's point of view on political, social, economic issues and life. Here's Crusty.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 152. Uncertainty is what lies ahead. That's what my speculation is for this country thus far. I'm your host, Crusty Canuck, and listener discretion is advised. I like to swear a lot, and if you like and hear what you see, please click like, subscribe, and don't forget to comment. Help with the algorithm up there, too. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, uncertainty. So in today's headlines, we have a lot of stories in regards to the mannequin that was seen in an Edmonton ICU training facility. Yes, I'm guilty for posting it on my Facebook page. Nonetheless, I put it there just to promote the fact that there's some journalists out there that just don't give a shit about what they're saying. And needless to say, I've read different articles from the National Post, from other conglomerates, and basically it was a training session that was set up in regards to displaying to the general public what an ICU looks like when someone has the beer bug and they're plugged into a rebreather or a ventilator. Needless to say, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't look good. So more uncertainty lingers and lies around. Been an interesting week or so in the name of Canadian politics, especially in regards to Krista Freeland now in the States, talking about border opening and all that stuff in the economy. But you've heard my rant and raves in regards to how the federal government in this country doesn't care about people like you or me. We've heard it enough times, more than enough, blah, blah, blah. Oh, Crusty Canuck again is saying all this crap about the government, and we all know it too, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, we live in a day and age where there is a lot of fear-mongering going on, a lot of finger pointing, a lot of blaming, non-vaccinated, oh my God, towards the vaccinated, what have you. And it's just getting ridiculous. Now, I'll say again and reiterate, if you want to get the vaccine, go and get the vaccine, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't want the vaccine, then don't do it. It's that simple, okay? But we're seeing the headlines in national news in regards to how the Maple Leafs are going to open up Air Canada Centre again, or Scotiabank Place, let them play hockey, full capacity. We watched some footage yesterday in regards to Team Canada kicking Panama's butt for World Cup qualification matches. And BMO Field was almost a full capacity. So I'm starting to think that things are winding down, regardless of what province you live in the country or not, too. Now, no one in their right mind is denying the fact that COVID is not real, okay? Now, in the first few months of it spreading, I was speculative because we weren't hearing a lot of details on it, because you used to have health ministers that would say this, health officials saying that. You'd have Dr. Theresa Tam telling you to stick your ding-ding into a hole for the sake of safe sex, wear a mask when you're having sex, and Ms. Haydu telling us where to stay, where not to go, where not to be, and yet she's traveling all over the province via airways, dictating to us what we have to do. So I can see the uncertainty there, ladies and gentlemen. I can see why anybody with common sense would be uncertain in regards to the rules and all these lockdowns and everything like that. I, for one, saying end the lockdowns now. Let's get the shit on the go here, and let's get back to some normalcy again. I'm talking real normalcy, where you can go outside and have fun with your friends and family, where you can go outside and play. Come wintertime, go out for a skate, play some hockey. In the wintertime, go out and enjoy regular festivities. In the summertime, springtime, etc. Basically reinstating the freedom yet once again. But unfortunately, the way things are working out now economically and socially, things are getting tougher too. It's just turning into more and more fear, ladies and gentlemen, more and more fear when it comes to getting things done, right? Yours truly is in search for work. Yours truly is looking for a steady job. Okay. But because of you, my viewers and listeners, you giving me purpose every other day too, to put an episode up there to entertain you to the best of my ability. And I'm very, very thankful for that, ladies and gentlemen. right? Like I say, if you like and hear what you see, please click like and subscribe. Share this all around. Do not forget to comment too. I'm trying to get some more comments built up on my YouTube channel, at least help the algorithm going on there so people are paying attention. And please, if you do like and hear what you see, please consider donating too, ladies and gentlemen. You can also donate at my webpage at crustycanuck.ca/donations. I have a PayPal subscription and the Buy Me Coffee subscription too. So please consider that. Anyway, carrying on with more uncertainty, it lies ahead. Yes, we're not getting the concrete answers as we should, ladies and gentlemen, especially in regards to what's going on in the fiscal future. Okay. Like I said earlier, Miss Freeland's down in the States pleading with the Americans to let us come in and all this good stuff. Okay. But I think it's more of a deterrent, if anything. Just like how people are speculating how Mr. O'Toole is not going to keep his leadership in the Conservative Party on the national level, too. There's been a lot of speculation, and yours truly, because I ran in the federal election, I got to see some of how the leadership on all parties are promoting the welfare of their members and the welfare of the constituents. And it doesn't look pretty, ladies and gentlemen. Doesn't look pretty at all. Well, and yes, I will run in the next federal election if it comes around. Hopefully in the next couple of years, we'll see. I don't know. The thing is, too, when I look back at this election, nothing ventured, nothing gained. I think the Liberals got 2 more seats and the Conservatives stayed at 119. And I think the NDP gained 1 more seat and the Bloc lost 2 seats or something. But the Greens got another seat. So there wasn't too much of a difference on the national scale, however, too. But when I'm looking at all the uncertainty of these parties, okay, the Greens can't sort their crap out. Anna May Paul might have said this, might have done that. Maybe she's a bad person. Maybe she isn't. I don't know. There's a lot of infighting going on there with her and where she stands on things. There's also a lot of infighting with the Liberal cabinet, which is nothing really new. And there's some infighting going on with the Conservatives too. Okay. The Bloc, I'm not worried about the Bloc at all. I really don't give 2 craps about the Bloc at the moment right now. What I care about is the sake of keeping this government together to do what it's supposed to bloody do. Because we both know how they all get paid and how much they get paid and how much they brag about it and how many more government jobs they have created in the name of the economy, which we know is just a tactic to deter us from, actually asking the tough questions. But that's typical, too. Now, needless to say, it's turning into a real shit show. So no wonder there's a lot of uncertainty on their parts, ladies and gentlemen. Yours truly is not sure what lies ahead. To be honest with you, I could speculate all I want. And there's always going to be something that's going to throw a wrench in the system.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you do like and hear what you see, please click like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And the contest is still on, too. If you donate $10 or more per month, excuse me, you'll be entered to win a Crusty Canuck podcast mug. Just go to my Patreon page on Podbean, link in the description there, too. Give $10 a month, and you'll be automatically entered into a draw that I will do on the 30th of this month, ladies and gentlemen. Or if you don't want the mug, then you can try for the T-shirt, too, ladies and gentlemen. Just go to my Patreon page and Podbean. Donate $5 a month, and I will draw your name for those great prizes. So enter as many times as you like, or once a month or twice a month or however you feel, and you will be drawn. Hopefully, we'll see. So please consider that today. Please help a guy like myself on his way to make this podcast even bigger and brighter for you, my wonderful audience out there. Anyway, carrying on, the uncertainty, it does lie ahead. It's getting tougher. There's a lot of jobs out there for people to grab and for people to take. Yours truly, I have been hunting high and low for meaningful work to keep the lights on, but every little bit helps. That's why I'm always pleading every episode, if you can donate, please consider donating. Become a permanent donator every month, if you can. Enter as much as you can. But it's getting tough for everybody, ladies and gentlemen. And there's a lot of employers out there, too, that constantly want to instill more fear as well. Okay? Now, I don't believe in the vaccine passports whatsoever. I don't believe in having to show someone your papers. You go to sit down with your wife or a loved one or a family member or a friend, and having somebody in the wait staff or the security staff checking your ID to see if you have the shots or not. I don't buy that. I personally think that's a violation of your privacy, period. Really. That's like saying to somebody, did you wipe today? You know, did you? Now, did you do that today? Not that it's anyone's business, but, I think you catch my drift. And I can understand when it comes to wanting people to be safe and to be secure. Okay. But let's look at this realistically, ladies and gentlemen. The more you try to enforce that on people, the more you're going to deter people from going to your establishment. Okay. And considering the amount of hard times we have had the past year and a half, pretty well close to bloody 2 years now, can you really afford to do that to your business? Oh, you don't want hassle from the AHS or any kind of health authority, but then you become the hasslers and the bulliers yourselves. You see what I'm getting at here, right? Now, I haven't had any problems with any establishments thus far, probably because I don't have a lot of money to go out and take my wife to a nice dinner at the moment. But I haven't had any real problems. I'll wear a mask if I have to. Yeah, okay. For longer periods of time, though, I can't because I have anxiety issues when it comes to that. And I actually have a medical chit that states that I cannot wear this mask for long periods of time. And I've dealt with a couple of employers that have said they have accommodated me on said situation and never bothered to do so. So there's quite a bit of contradiction out there, ladies and gentlemen, in the rural areas, in the smaller towns, in the bigger towns, and in the bigger cities in this province too. So there's quite a bit of hypocrisy out there telling people what to F and do, right? More of this monkey see, monkey do as I say, and not as I do, right? It's turning into a real poop show. And I can honestly say a lot of people are getting angry at all of this, finger wagging, finger pointing. Oh my goodness. How dare you have an opinion against this? How dare you have an opinion against that? And it's getting ridiculous. All the little witch hunts and all the snitch lines that are coming and going. True North News did a great story about the snitch lines. The Andrew Lawton show. I'll leave a link to that show there too. You can listen to yourselves there, ladies and gentlemen. But again, more snitches are coming out. Okay. More snitches are coming out of the woodwork to prove what? You're doing your part for public safety by ratting on your neighbors. That's a great thing. And it's not just coming from a few NGOs here, non-government offices. It's being encouraged by the Saskatchewan government and the Alberta government alike in regards to telling on people. Right? Now, how is that going to be effective? How is that going to help freedom? How is that going to help personal security? Is it a sense of security? A sense of comfort? Right? I'm doing my part of the community by telling on people because they're conglomerating over here having a picnic lunch, or they're conglomerating over there sitting there playing reach around. Is that a viable solution, ladies and gentlemen? Is that showing your neighborly tactics? Is that being very, very tactful, showing kindness and consideration to people? That's what we need to do, though, is to be kind and considerate. We've all heard the saying, though, snitches get stitches, right? Yeah, well, I'm not one to promote that kind of violence. But it's getting to the point where you're backing people into a corner, though, ladies and gentlemen. You are. So when you think about snitching on somebody who's not wearing a mask or who's not being socially distant or walking the imaginary line that has been submitted for your approval in the name of safety, I highly suggest you think twice. Okay? Think about it because it's going to have its repercussion. It is. Okay? It's going to have its repercussion, and you're not going to like the result.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
Yeah, so once again, we're back to episode 152. Uncertainty is what lies ahead. Now, I've had a few emails the past week in regards to where I stand and where some of my fans and some new fans have stood. And they told me not to mention their name on the show, which I won't. But because the information they have given me, they have showed me some other insights and other perspectives when it comes to the safety and the harnessing and what have you. And see, that's the problem, though, too. One individual used the word harness. We have to harness things. Don't you harness prey? Okay. Don't you lasso and harness a calf during a rodeo? Don't you harness animals and livestock? Interesting. We're playing words. And I promised this individual I would not display his words on my show. But needless to say, when he used the word harness, I'm like, okay, interesting. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but the email basically stated we have to harness and make sure we do no more harm. And it's like, well, people aren't livestock, buddy. So if you're watching this right now there, Buckeye, maybe you should use better context and display and say exactly what you mean next time you write me an email to that standard. We don't need to harness people. We don't need to herd people. Okay. Let people do their effing thing. It's that simple. Okay. It's shit simple, to be honest with you. It's not a new dynamic. It's not a new social spectrum, right? It's common sense. Common sense. And yet I don't care where you're educated. I don't care where you've been. I don't care what your worldview is. When you start saying, well, you have to harness people here and harness people there, I get a little concerned because I've seen the results of harnessing people. And trust me, it doesn't look too good. It didn't look good in Afghanistan. Do you honestly think it's going to look good here? Anyway, I digress. More of the uncertainties there too. I highly recommend to my listeners and viewers out there too. Please keep asking the tough questions if you can. Keep doing it because, Parliament hasn't sat in session yet. They're still taking their sweet effing time to get this done, to get that done. Right. And it doesn't look like they're going to be sitting in Parliament anytime soon because they have to, go back and forth on holidays and what have you. And of course, there have been members of the Queen's opposition stating that how disappointed they are in regards to how Justin took his time in Tofino, like I mentioned in last week's episode. He'd rather go surf than deal with any real problems. And now we also have an issue with clean water in Iqaluit up in the Nunavut area, Northwest Territories, or formerly Northwest Territories, anyway, the Canadian Arctic. To my American listeners out there and my European listeners too. There's an issue with that whole town having contaminated water. Apparently people are smelling diesel when they turn on their faucets. So the whole water table is contaminated as far as I know, or at least the plant isn't working up to snuff. Now, what gets me is that there's been a clean water issue with our First Nation reserve for a very, very long time now. And now the national news is holding on to this story for dear life. What's different to that than the reservation issues? What is different? Not much. It just goes to show the media's priority here too. Okay. One of the platforms we had, or we still have in the Veterans Coalition Party is that Clean Water for All. And that's a municipal and a provincial thing too, as far as we're concerned too. Right. If your municipality has issues with running water and clean water, then you got to sort the municipality out, right? And if you can't sort the municipality out, or sort the municipalities out, then you got to get the province to step in there and sort it out for you. That's what they're paid to do, right? So why does a town in the northern part of the planet have issues with clean water? Why does any town in this country have issues with clean water? Because someone's getting paid, something was ignored, and something wasn't done. Okay? So you can obviously say human error, big time. Human fucking error at its finest. And you can also say a lack of respect and a lack of courage to do the hard work to get things done. So somebody is getting greedy. Someone's taking funds and screwing the pooch and screwing the people. That's the best way I can speculate it. Well, what say you? Please let me know, ladies and gentlemen. You can reach me via email at Gmail, crustybcanuck67@gmail.com. Give me your thoughts. Let me know too. And you can also find me at Rumble, Brighton, and Wimkin too. Every time I load these videos, I load it up on those 3 platforms. I'm working on getting a Super U account too. I hear great things about that. But please share all this stuff around. Commentary and thumbs up, likes, all that good stuff is encouraged. And please give me a comment or two. Anyway, carrying on again with more of the uncertainty. The more I think about it, the more it kind of drives me up the wall. And I'm sure it drives you up the wall too, ladies and gentlemen. We can sit here all day and go, what if, what if, what if, what if? But we're still not getting concrete answers. Okay? And it doesn't matter if we go to a municipal representative or a provincial representative or a federal representative. It doesn't matter if it's an MLA, an MP, a mayor-to-be, a town council person. We're not getting the concrete answers. Because my speculation is this. It's all a quest for power. How much more power do people need? Let's keep vying for more power over another. Let's keep doing the old, back and forth, checkmate checkers over and over again. And for what? Is liberty that such a terrible thing to taste? I've tasted liberty. It's fantastic. What say you? Right? And regardless of how uncertain these times are going to be, we still have to maintain a level head to the best of our abilities, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I can sit here all day and talk about innovations when it comes to being kind to people, but we got to start in the basics again, back from the ground up. Just like I said during my campaign, back to basics. You see someone struggling, give them a hand. You see someone hurt, help them out. You see someone crying or someone in pain, do what you can to help them out. And if they look at you and say, leave me the fuck alone, oh, okay, then leave them alone. But if someone needs a hand, don't hesitate, right? We can all help each other out here. The best thing to do is to be neighborly to the best of our ability. And it doesn't matter if you're religious, doesn't matter if you're not religious, doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, bi, tri, excuse me, or whatever abbreviation is trendy today. It's about being decent to people to the best of our abilities, and set the better example that we are given every time we turn on the boob tube or read a paper, right? There's still speculation in regards to censorship in this country too. Are they going to promote C10? Are they going to promote C36? Are they still going to do that to tell us what to think and what to say and what to write and how to be, how to wipe ourselves, how to pick our nose, how to make love to our loved ones, how to hold our spouse ever so tightly and romantically? Are they going to tell us once again to put our privates in a glory hole and hope for a kiss and maybe a reach around? Who's to say, ladies and gentlemen, who's to say? But it doesn't look too promising when these guys keep talking. It's the same thing over and over again. Yeah. They all say the same things. And you would have hoped that this election might have changed that too. But it also goes to show that there's a lot of people who love the comfort, right? Who love the comfort and the idea of the safety keeping them warm at night, when they fail to realize that what keeps them warm at night is fossil fuels, right? And certain coal plants and certain wood stoves and lots of electricity, right? But, they wanted safety and comfort over reality and democracy. Like I say, once again, ladies and gentlemen, please consider donating too. And I'll once again consider the t-shirt and mug offer too. Like I say, you throw $5 in at my Patreon page on Podbean, you automatically get entered to win a free t-shirt, postage paid from yours truly. And if you throw $10 a month in, you automatically get entered into winning that mug. Like I said, I'll put the picture up again here for you. Right, $10 or more a month, you'll be entered to win this mug. It comes in black and red, ladies and gentlemen, too. So go to my Patreon page on podbean.com/Crusty Canuck. Throw in your $10. And hopefully you get yourself a nice swaggy Crusty Canuck mug. Or $5 a month, you can get the t-shirt. Basic pattern, black t-shirt, Crusty Canuck podcast. On the back of it says humanity and merit wins the day. So that way, as a fan and as a subscriber to the show, you can display the brand proudly and brag about how many times you listen to the Crusty Canuck podcast, ladies and gentlemen. But like I say, uncertainty is what lies ahead. And I think I validated that point enough to everybody here today so far. Anyway, carrying on again with more of my rantings and ramblings, right? This past week has been interesting. I had a little episode there yesterday. I was getting angry, getting upset at the way things were working out. And we're all struggling one way or the other, ladies and gentlemen. This pandemic and the leadership calling the shots has proven it. And a lot of these individuals have reared their ugliness in regards to helping people and doing what they can for people. And it's going to be up to us once again, like I've said, up to people like you, me, your neighbors, your friends, your family, your loved ones, lovers, whomever, the common folk, people that aren't part of the political elite or part of the Laurentian elite or part of any kind of elite. It's going to take blue collar people like you and me to get the job done. Okay. And the example we should put forward especially the individuals that look up to us, like my nieces, my nephews, my younger sister, some of my friends from high school that I still talk with today that I love dearly, right? And my wife, especially. We have to get out there and promote the better example to the best of our abilities. So the more we promote the better example, the more certain we're going to be. It's that simple. We got to stop treating politicians like they're gods. They're not gods. They're just people too, who happen to be lucky in some circumstances. Okay. And when you look at the leadership of this country on a federal level, look at how many of those individuals have never, ever really struggled for anything in their lives, who have never, ever really had to want for anything in their lives because they came from a great background, because their parents made some better decisions or their grandparents made some better decisions to set up little nest eggs and little funds and little this here and there, little slaps and tickles left and right as we speak. And yet people like you and me, my listeners, and not just my listeners in Canada, but my American friends, my British friends, my German, French, my Turkish friends, some of my Indian friends, some of the listeners that have come from across the ocean who have weighed in and said some wonderful things about my show. They don't have the humbling that you and I do. Okay. They're afraid to be humbled. They're afraid to be humiliated. That's why they want to promote these laws about anti-hate speech and saying bad words to journalists. Oh my God, what are we going to do? You're going to be an adult and learn how to suck it up properly. Show some fucking resilience. Get some backbone, right? The way our fathers taught us, Now, I admit the human psyche cannot take a lot of garbage. But I think you and I as adults, ladies and gentlemen, we can understand which is garbage, which is good information, and which is bad information. And we as individuals, we can decide that for ourselves when it comes to what we want to watch on television, what we want to read in our newspapers, what you want to listen to here online, and what you want to do with your time. And we don't need Big Brother to watch it for us. So I'm telling you, Mr. Stephen Gobert and Prime Minister Trudeau, whenever you find the time, sir, to come to work and do the real hard work as it takes to lead this country. And you too, Miss Freeland. I don't care if you're gallivanting the States or not, talking about open borders and policies. Take the reins as you should, as you're paid to do. Okay? And that goes for the Conservative counterparts, and that goes for the NDP counterparts and the Greens when you decide to get rid of your fucking soap operas. And you too, Les Blocs, right? And stop encouraging people to be entitled to magical things, because we're not entitled. We have to make it ourselves, but we're entitled to the options and the opportunities. Okay. No more rules, no more regulations. Just let people be. It's that simple. Right. However, a lot of these leaders forget that because they want the control. They want you to live in fear because the more fear you have, the more money they make. Right. The more they justify their pay raises, the more they justify lobbying for this and lobbying for that. Right? It's time that we lobby, ladies and gentlemen. Time that you, me, and other listeners out there, it's time that we lobby and do the right thing for us and our families and our loved ones. And whether it's for your country, whether it's for your town, your community, or for your wife, or for your husband, your boyfriend, girlfriend, lover, 10 times removed, we can do the right thing to the best of our abilities. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of the Crusty podcast. I know it's been a short and sweet today, kind of cramped for time, but I just need to get an episode out there too. I'm going to try to get back into the format of doing 2 episodes a week if I can. But like I say, I'm looking for some steady work. So to keep the lights on, get my savings back in order, because this past year and a half has taken my savings through the effing roof, ladies and gentlemen. Right? Sorry, there's not going to be any Canadian polar vortex of bullshit today. I know some of you look forward to that based on the emails I received this week. Give me suggestions on that too. But please, ladies and gentlemen, if you like and hear what you see, send me an email, send me a comment, give me a topic to talk about when it comes to the polar vortex of bullshit. I would really appreciate that if you could too. And do what we can to make these episodes better too. I'm branching out. I'm trying my Patreon again. So I updated my Patreon page. So you want to check that out and donate there, you can do that too. But like I say, the official stands for mug and t-shirt. Just follow links in the description, and I'll leave links to that TNC story and to that mannequin story that they found at the ICU, that CBC put on whatever. It's just a media shit show, ladies and gentlemen. Just more garbage for us to have to swallow because somebody doesn't want to take responsibility for their shit. Anyway, like I say, I've been Crusty Canuck on this beautiful 14th of October, 2021. Halloween is coming. And like I say, please donate your $5 or $10 today. There'll be a draw on the 30th of October. There'll be some lucky winners, hopefully. Knock on wood. And let's maintain some sanity. And let's keep doing what we can for each other to the best of our abilities, ladies and gentlemen. I know things are tough, but you can help people with money, giving time, giving an ear, giving your heart. Do what you can. Things are getting a little cooler outside, so maybe think of ways to keep yourself warmer without jacking up the hydro bills and all that carbon tax BS. But like I say, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Crusty Canuck. Look after your friends and loved ones to the best you can to help each other out. And remember, humanity and merit wins the day. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me. Yes, sir. There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthy.
This has been another episode of the Crusty Canuck podcast. Stay sane and thank you for listening. From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast.